Welcome to the You Are Here podcast. This is episode 62 of the podcast. Find the podcast on www.youareherepodcast.co. We cannot afford the M. My name is Mike. Oh, wait. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube with that video. I'm a little rusty right now. I don't know, even though we do this every week. But find a podcast wherever. And we're glad if you're listening in right now. I love you so much. And we're still pulling through with the podcast, even though these trying times are really testing our patience, I think. Dave, how are you doing out there?
Hey,
how are you
man,
doing?
It's the quarantine episode.
Yes.
Officially.
Yes.
How am I doing, bro? How am I doing? I'm hating this right now, dude.
Yeah.
I'm on the verge, man. I feel like I'm in the for a few hours I'll be like so content, so present, and like finding grateful moments and like just living in them and being okay with the situation. And then like my brain, I feel like, starts to move forward and thinks about like, well, what about next month? What should be working on this thing, or I should, because I wanted to get, and then my wants start kicking in, and I'm like,
Yeah.
well, who knows if I'll be able to leave the house? Who knows if I'll have any money? Who knows if I'll have any food? Like, then once I start thinking ahead, I start panicking, and then like it takes a little while to get away from that. So I've just been running to like keep my mind like level, and that drops me back into the present. I had a really good run before we did this, but It just sucks, man. It sucks. Like I want to be at your crib right now, but I can't be.
Yep.
You know, it's a bummer.
We can't even hike, dude.
I know.
I literally right before the podcast, I read a little thing on my phone, just a little pop up, and said, like officers are saying stop running, and you're not allowed to run or go on hiking trails or anything anymore. So it's like, cool. All right, so that's one more thing that I can't do.
Yes, dude, love it.
Yeah, I've been feeling like very. I think until now, I think I've been kind of put it back into reality because I've been kind of just like in my own little zone. Like I try to stay away from just like everyone. Yeah. Just like not really interact, just to be safe for like a couple days. Yeah. And it's taking a toll on my brain, I think.
For sure.
But playing a lot of little Animal Crossing, little video game. But then I was like, I'm not feeling too good of just sitting here doing nothing, even though we should really be doing that. And I think no one should really be going outside right now. Mm-hmm. I started picking up guitar just for fun, just learning some songs.
What did you learn? Yankee Doodle Dandy? What's the first song you learned?
I don't know why. I just decided to like. I started learning by being like, oh, I got to learn like, each string and each like chord and each thing. But I'm like, I'm just gonna start with like simple songs.
I think that's how most people learn. Yeah,
it's the most popular like chords. I've just been playing "Wish You Were Here" by Pink Floyd just over and over again.
Whoa!
And it's the best. Just like once you can play it, you're like, oh, I can do this all day.
Have you been playing with your father?
No. So I'm trying to just like, I feel like I want to just learn on my own because I don't know, an asshole like that. But
your father is a rock star.
Is like a legend. Like the shit he was playing today, and like the shit he plays every day is like he's just legend, like dude. Shredding on it, just. And I'm just like sitting there like I don't know if I can. I feel intimidated.
That's a nice bonding.
You know what though? That's a real feeling I'm just gonna put out there. I'm just very intimidated to dive into something with someone that's very like experienced.
Okay, that's fair.
And I feel like because I remember like a while ago I used to my house is a very like musical household. Like my dad has been playing guitar in my house like forever. We have instruments everywhere. We have music playing all the time. I listen to music all the time. My parents do too. And that's one way we bond. We talk about these things and like through music and stuff. And I always wish I like had a instrument like the guitar or something that I could play. Like it's literally in front of me my whole life. You know what I mean? But I haven't chosen to like, I don't know, get into it at all. And I remember I tried learning just like the bass, not even guitar, just the bass. And I did it for like, and I went to my dad, I tried to learn. And like after like 2 hours, I'm like, my fingers hurt. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, I'm such a little bitch for doing that, man. I wish I stuck with it. But
I don't know. It's because like not everyone's supposed to play bass. Like not everyone has the passion.
But I love the bass right now. Like I love just sitting with like a guitar or the bass and just like playing each note. And like I don't know anything, but it's just like I'm like, oh, I get how people like do this, where you like go through every like note and everything and chord. You're like, oh wow, like I can see how people like do this and learn it. So now I'm having like fun with it, just like exploring it by myself.
Yo, I want to talk about this. This is making me think about like like you got me onto the film Patterson, which I watched last night.
So good, man.
And like I needed definitely to watch that film, and thank you for passing it along. But like the thing that was striking me the most was the relationship between him and his girl.
Yeah.
I was watching her character.
The dream relationship.
Yeah, dude. It's trippy. I was watching her character and how she was like, she orders the guitar and like she's like, oh, I want to be a country singer.
Yeah.
I want to be a painter. I'm great with fashion. And she had all these things, right? That she was like,
yes,
very like optimistic about.
Yes.
But she would move on to the next thing, like baking or whatever, and it'd be the next thing and the next thing, and living like very like frivolously or like carelessly almost. But it was because she was so passionate about a thing in the whim of it, and like in a tornado of passion, she would be like, all right, I needed this guitar, and like, thank you for this gift because I'm going to learn to play guitar and then become a country singer. I'm going to be incredible.
Yeah. And
I was thinking about like people who, because everyone's got passions, but like I'm sure you've given like the bass, like you've given a shit about a thing and you're like, man, I really want to be good at this thing. But, for whatever reason, like you don't get to do that thing. Yes. Like, do you believe like, I like to believe this. Let me say this first. This is my statement. I like to believe that everyone is like kind of like talented and like very, very good at a thing. And they're very passionate about a thing. And all those things line up to one doing if they could find it like within their lifetime. And if they pursue it, they'll become like, their life will become enriched because they're doing the thing they're kind of meant to do. Yeah. But like, I believe there's a lot of people who don't find that thing in life, or like they find that thing and they give up a little bit too quickly on it. And then they never pursue it because of like a person saying a mean thing or, having to work 2 jobs or whatever. Yeah. And I was thinking about how unfair that is. Like, it's kind of unfair, man. It made me hurt for her. Like I felt for her big time,
dude. But that's why I love this film so much. It's like it's such like a subtle, like I don't know, just feeling by feeling. You're like going through the film, and it doesn't like try to speed up anything or like
it's so slow.
Try to like throw something at you that you don't expect. It's literally the slow. It's just life, like living, and like that's it. Yeah. And I love the fact that they put Adam Driver's character Patterson and that girl together, that it's like such like an opposite. Yeah. And you can see like how it's like, oh, she has so many options and everything. Yeah. But then you look at like Patterson and you're like, he's happy with just like being a bus driver. You know what I mean? He's and like he has this little poetry thing on the side, but he doesn't think of himself as, oh, I'm gonna be this great thing. Like I'm gonna be the next, fucking Bukowski or some shit. I don't know.
Yeah. But he had no drive for that.
But it was like almost he was even more like content.
Yeah. That's like there's artists that like don't pursue careers. Like there's artists that are very, very talented at what they do and just get fulfilled by doing the thing. And it doesn't have to be on a huge scale. There's no like fame in it for them. There's no money they want involved with it. They just want to do it. Yeah. And his character was like direct representation of that kind of person, like true artist. Went to his basement every day after his bus rides, worked on his poetry, and that was it. And he was fulfilled, dude. Worked on it at lunch by the falls, and I loved how they used Patterson, dude. I loved how it was like shot in Patterson.
Yeah, and Adam Driver like destroyed that. I love him as I love him as Patterson. It's so dude. Because I can see like he could be that kind of person,
Oh yeah. For sure. He's the truth, man. And that was, I think, the first Jim Jarmusch film I've seen.
Yeah, me too.
And it was
I saw the craziest thing. I was reading up some like behind the scenes stuff about it, and some of the poems in the film were actually by Jim Jarmusch's like favorite poet. And it was like his friend. And he asked him to do the poems and everything. And when he had a feeling like he didn't know who he wanted to play Patterson, but he was like, he met Adam Driver once. He's like, oh, you have to do it. And then like Adam Driver got on board with it, and then Adam had to meet the poet that Jim Jarmusch chose for everything, and he went to meet the guy, and he was like, oh, here's the poems that we have for like the film or whatever, like these are the ones, like just read them, probably like get to know them. And Adam Driver comes in. He's like, no, I read like 500 of your. He comes in with a book of all his like best poems, and he said, oh, I read this whole thing and like analyzed everything and all these things. It's crazy, man. Like he's 100% in there.
Yeah,
it's cool to see that, you know, that he appreciates that kind of thing.
There was something about it too where he wasn't forced at all. There was nothing. I love what you said before, like how it wasn't sped up. There was no big turns, like not like crazy turns, but like I don't know. It was just a film where you walk alongside a person on their week, in like a place. It's all character driven. The plot really comes with the film, but like it's all about the character.
Yeah.
And that's like, it was such a cool experience. I felt like I was just walking alongside him the whole film.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome. And I was like, oh, here comes the music. And then there was no music. And I was just like, whoa, okay. Here comes there's going to be some kind of like conflict, right? The girl's going to spaz and he's going to have to fight and then they're going to argue.
But
nothing like
that. Their relationship is just so like, it's just like, like he said in like one of the lines, he's like, good thing, like, I forgot what I think it was in the bar, but he was talking about how his like girlfriend's like, she just like gets me and like understands like how I feel about, really, you know, like how I am. And you could tell that they both like are like that. Sometimes in the film though, like I wanted to slap that chick, man, because I'm like, sometimes it's just so like, you feel like you're like, she's taking advantage of just like, you know, the time and like that she has all this time to do everything and like, you know, but like it's beautiful that like the Patterson doesn't like, he understands her, you know, dreams and all these things the way she is and is okay with that, having that like he does the bus driving every day, wakes up at the same time, you know, has his routine, but he finds like the good parts out of every little moment of the day.
For sure. Yeah, man, their balance was crazy. And like they loved each other, but I definitely felt that like there was frustration with her. We're analyzing the fuck out of this film, but there's frustration with her about like having all these fucking passions, ordering a guitar.
It felt like, you know what it felt like? It felt like vanity. It was for vanity.
Yeah, like she wanted to look and appear like she was doing something.
Yeah,
but she never left the house. She never left the house in the film. Like not once.
Yeah,
and went to the movies. Like that was the one thing.
And the cupcakes or whatever.
And the cupcakes, to sell the cupcake. But that's it. And he's out there every day on his shift, and I was just like, dude, because I was like without thinking about it, I was plugging myself into his character and being like, how would I react to this relationship? And I was like, bro, I would be losing my mind. I'd be like, what'd you order? What the fuck?
And then the craziest shit too is you learn how he could have like outbursted and stuff like that, but from his past and like the being a SEAL and everything, how like that tone like changed his whole life probably, and how that changed how his tone is, and he won't blow up anymore.
I
love that, man, dude. There's so many like sides of that character, but like his face is just like one face.
It's very filled out, and there's so many beautiful moments in it. If it's such a slow film, you really catch. They don't speed through a moment. Every moment you have to stay in it. You have to. It doesn't give you a choice. And like, it could feel drawn out sometimes, but like he'll be talking to a girl and it's sitting on a dumpster writing her poetry. And like, it's a beautiful fucking moment.
Yep.
I don't know. And the twins thing throughout the film. And it was, man, go watch that film.
Yeah. Go watch Patterson.
Go watch
Jim Jarmusch.
Jim Jarmusch. How you been, bro? How you been aside from the guitar stuff? How's it going? You did Animal Crossing, you said?
Yeah, I mean, for me, like financially and stuff, I'm pretty set.
That's good.
You know, I called I got a bunch of my loan shit figured out.
Yeah.
I still have an income, which is all right, which is good. You know what I mean? Yeah. I can work. I don't have to go in all the time, but I can work and, you know, still do whatever. I'm just trying to like take advantage of this time.
Yeah.
Like I'm trying to find a way to do that.
Right.
Because I feel like it's a time where it could be a lot worse. It could be, you know, 10 times worse. You know what I mean? Where it could be affecting us like every minute of the day.
For sure.
But it could be a lot worse. And I'm just trying to like do my best to, I don't know, make the best out of it.
Yeah, dude. I feel you. I feel like I started that way. And then like
Yeah.
These past couple of days, I've just been like not doing that anymore. Like I just gave up. I feel like I gave up. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know what it is. Like it was every day was feeling like, I get to chill with my wife all day.
Yeah.
And then like, I don't know, we could go for a hike, and then I could start writing, and I could just be reading my book that I didn't get to read yet. And I was doing those things, and then I don't know. This past couple of days, I'm like, getting antsy. Like I'm feeling.
It's been like almost over 2 weeks of like quarantining and shit, and they just extended it and everything. It's like
to the 30th of April, bro.
Yeah, man.
How do you feel about that?
I honestly just try not to think about it, because literally, like I think yesterday they were talking about literally getting rid of quarantine like soon, which is also just like mind blowing to me, because it's like this is the worst it's ever been.
I read an article on the Atlantic. I was up super late, and it was like, I don't know. It's the headline was like, what's the end game? Like, how does coronavirus come to an end, basically?
Yeah.
And I was like, I gotta fucking read this, because I need to know. I need to fucking know. And it was a long article. You go through it, and basically, I'm gonna try not to murder this, but there was like 3 things that could happen. And the first thing was like a very almost improbable thing, like a Mission Impossible circumstance would happen, where like SARS, all countries that were like starting to get affected by SARS, all capped it at the same time, like simultaneously, and killed it off like instantly, because it was capped off. Like we quarantined at the right time. Everyone got their shit together. Everyone had everyone had the right like medical procedures. Every country that had it, and it locked down quick, and there was no more travel back and forth, and everyone had like it decreased the numbers like substantially. And I think we're past that now. Like there's almost no chance of that happening. I think it's too crazy now. So that one's off the table. So the second option was, I think I know businesses are dying to do this, but like open it up again where there's no quarantine, which is what you were saying. Like the Spanish flu back in the day, like ravaged like an entire nation and like killed hundreds of thousands of people. Like that's what they're saying. That's an option for this thing. That's something that if you do this, it will kill a ton of people. It will kill like 1 million people.
Yeah.
There's no way around that. But the people that do survive it will have, I read like an immunity or some kind of resistance built up they're thinking about 1 year to 2 years. And they said the vaccines will be created within 12 to 18 months, like is what they're thinking.
Yeah.
So the people that do survive it will be around for when the vaccine comes out, if it comes out when they think it will. And then the third option is what we're kind of doing now, is a social distancing thing where we're taking this time away from each other to ease off the hospital so that they can get all their equipment back and not lose so many people to these ventilator like shortages, and no masks for the nurses, and just no equipment. But they're saying that the social distancing like isn't going to be for a full year, but it would be something like where we're apart for 2 to 3 months because the outbreak levels rose again, like they are now at like 600,000 fucking cases, 700,000 cases, or whatever it is now. We have to go to our homes again and social distance for like 2 more months. And then when the levels start to lower, they said we could start coming outside again and going on hikes and going to work and all this shit. And then if the levels start to rise again, well, guess what? We're going back to our houses and social distancing for another 2 to 3 months or 4 months or whatever the fuck. And that kind of made me nervous too. But all these options suck. Like I wish the Mission Impossible #1 option could happen, but I think we just fucked it. I think our country kind of blew it.
Yeah,
I just don't think we were ready for it.
No, definitely.
And I read that the White House, when Trump came into office, there was a specific department. I wish I had this written down. That specialized in viruses and pandemics and stuff like that. And there was a team, and they were cut because I guess this wasn't a thing. We never saw this coming. Like there was people said it would happen, but nobody fucking listened.
Yep.
And because it never really happened to us from a long time ago. Like there was no I don't know, nothing like this.
No, definitely not.
But it was cut, dude. It was cut, and they were saying like, "You need us," and White House was saying like, "No thanks." Like, it's a new sheriff in town. Like,
put that money somewhere else.
Yeah. And I get it. Like, I get it. If it wasn't a issue before, like, why would we spend the money on like to him? It was probably like, we have a fishing team like that we need $1 billion for, and he's like, I don't even go fishing. Like, give me that $1 billion, I'm going to send it somewhere else. You know what I'm saying? Like, that was probably the same thing to him.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know, man. Like once I start reading that stuff and hearing it, I'm like,
I know, dude.
I definitely don't want to do anything now.
I know.
But I feel like even the social distancing is like almost one of the worst options, is because like, all right, let's say you stay home for a week and you have like one time you go out to get groceries just to like be able to do it, you could get it and then it's over.
But you're doing this.
It's just risky, man.
This is what you're doing. You're playing the odds. You're saying, I'm going out once to the grocery store every 2 weeks, whereas I would have went to work 4 or 5 times a week. So I would have touched or possibly infected. They said the virus, where like the flu, the regular flu, affects like 1.4 people. Like your chances of infecting people like is about 1.4 person for each person who has the flu. This is 3. Jeez. So yeah, so dude, they did the math and it was some crazy number. Like the flu, you'd infect like 14 people if you went out a certain amount of times. If you had this and you go out, you could infect like 3,000 people. And it's like, there's no fucking. So you're minimizing the risk by saying, I'll go out once or twice a week, or once every 2 weeks or whatever, twice a week or whatever I got to do to get food and the essentials. And I may infect or get infected by a person and spread it a few more times, but I'm taking away the risk from spreading it from a person here, and then a person at work, and then a person on my hike, and then a person, with my friend group who we're hanging out by the lake and we want to go fish. Like, that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to say, if you are going to spread it and you don't know it, it's going to be that one time in the grocery store, and that's going to get spread. And this thing's spreading no matter what. Like, we're coming inside, and it's it's not to kill this thing. It's to fucking buy time for the hospital.
Yep.
It's to buy time for the hospitals to be like, there's not that many people coming in at the same time saying, knock, knock, knock. Like, I can't breathe. And the hospital's hands are tied, The deaths numbers are crazy. I saw New York 2 days ago was like 500 something deaths.
Yep. The total like infected in the world, I think, is like over 700,000 now. Think about that, man. It's crazy.
It's fucking insane, dude. It's insane.
I remember we were looking at like the numbers like on the 2 podcasts ago. It was like, 40,000 or like 60,000. Now it's like over 120,000 in the US. It's like doubling every week, dude. It's crazy.
I'm quick to like, it makes me depressed, man. I just get like upset because I don't see an end. Like, I just don't see it. I don't see a fucking way this ends where like we all just go back to normal.
Yeah.
That kind of scares me, man. And I just, like we said last podcast, like things are going to change. Like, we're going to be changed from this.
Yep.
This isolation shit is going to drive people kind of crazy sometimes. And you got to stay hopeful and try to, I think what you're doing is really positive by learning the guitar. Like, that's a perfect example of what you have at your disposal, like taking that and learning it and spending time with it. You're going to learn about yourself. Yeah. It's going to be a positive thing. That's the thing you can do. Eating healthy. I guess walking now, just walking and running if you can't hike.
Walk on your front doorstep.
Yeah.
Back and forth.
Damn.
Walk around in your house in circles.
I saw like people on the sidewalk and I ran like a fucking wide ass semicircle around them, like right around them, dude. God. But watching the movie Patterson, like, it helped me on the run today. Like, I was looking around at houses and like the buds on the trees, like flowering dogwood trees and stuff. And I was like, man, it's a beautiful life.
I wasn't going to do this, but I'm going to read this thing that I wrote because of Patterson.
Oh, please, man.
I wrote a little poem.
Oh, go ahead.
Let me find it though. Give me a sec.
Is it titled?
No.
Okay.
It's not titled, but I don't know. I just felt like this is what I got from watching the film.
Yeah.
All right. Here it goes. Surround yourself with what you love. What do you love? I love going out for dinner with friends and family. I love cooking with the window cracked ajar and alone. I love sharing a book with a lover. I love sharing a stranger's smile. Love is the universe. Love is a molecule. Figure out little loves and big ones. That's it.
Fuck yeah, man. Fuck yeah, dude. Ooh. Love is the universe. Love is a molecule?
Yeah.
Mike Nowicki. Yeah. Hey.
We're in here, man.
Damn, bro. That's powerful.
Thanks, man.
Oof.
I mean, hopefully that hits someone, you know?
Oof.
I just felt like, I don't know, like the thing I loved about Patterson, like, I don't know, it's just like a big thing could happen.
Yeah.
You know, like but like not a lot of like crazy things happen, but let's say something's crazy for someone else, like his girlfriend like finding this guitar thing. It's like, oh my God, I'm in love with this. You know what I mean? And
yeah.
Maybe to him it's like not, he's like, it's hard for him to understand, but he's like, oh, like if you're happy, then I'm happy, right?
Yeah. And
like maybe it's a little thing for me, but it's a big thing for her.
Yes, dude.
But then like he's going around and like you were going on your walk, you look at the little things in life that, I don't know, maybe right now we can't do the same things that we have always done that make us happy, but maybe we can find the smaller things in life. You know, pay more attention to the details.
Yeah.
That we're kind of missing, maybe.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man. I have one for you too.
Yeah, you gotta write some stuff.
I think this is like a prompt for like what we're going through right now. I think this is like something to test.
Let's hear it.
I wrote this in February. This is weird. I wrote this in February. I think I was thinking about what if anything like this would happen. So it starts, put your hand on your heart. Did you feel that? Things are happening even if you can't see them. Things are happening even if you forget. You are more alive than you know, even if you forget. That's it.
I love that. Yeah.
It's like a reminder.
Yeah, man. Oh, you got to remind yourself.
Yeah. Like you can't see your heart beating, but it's there and it's doing it. So you are alive. And like, even if you forget your heart's beating, it is beating and you are alive, more alive than you think.
That's so weird. I was sitting here before we were called and everything, and I was like, put the headphones on and like I was listening, and like I just heard my heartbeat. I'm like, oh shit. I forgot about this.
Yeah, it's a reminder.
Wow.
It's a reminder.
I love that, man.
You're alive, dude.
See, how good does that feel to do that, man? To make those things, I know. To read those out, have other people hear it.
It does feel good. Yeah.
I like that. Yeah, I feel good now.
Thanks for sharing that with me.
Thank you, man. I wanna throw this to something else. I watched this. So Jim Carrey, we all know Jim Carrey. We all know love, hate. I don't know. There's a lot of weird things about him, you know, in the media, stuff that's happened to him. But I feel like there's this little clip I want to share. It's from a documentary he did in like I think 2017, about him and he found his love for like painting. And I don't know, it's just like it shares a lot of like outlooks, I think, that are very interesting, and like especially for right now to hear is a good thing. I'm gonna pull mine up right now. You sent me this link. Yeah, I'll count down and we'll like try to do it at the same time. It's gonna be so weird. Yeah. Here we go. All right, 3, 2, 1.
What you do in life chooses you. You can choose not to do it. You can choose to try to do something safer. Your vocation chooses you. When I really started painting a lot, I had become so obsessed that there was nowhere to move in my home. Paintings were everywhere. They were becoming a part of the furniture. I was eating on them. I found myself looking around at one point in a really bleak winter in New York, and it was just so depressing, and I think I needed color.
It's getting kind of pedestrian to me now, the teal.
You know what I'd like to do is just start threading in some purple, you know, into these things. I'll identify the ultimate color and not be able to reproduce it.
You can tell what I love by the color of the paintings. You can tell my inner life by the darkness in some of them, and you can tell what I want from the brightness in some of them.
It's 5 a.m. So I'm making a little more progress now. It's really kind of cool what happens with these things, you know, because you really don't know what a sculpture or a painting totally means. You think you do. Most of the time I start out with a plan, and then, you know, like a year later, I'll realize that the painting was telling me what I needed to know about myself a year before.
I think what makes someone an artist is they make models of their inner life. They make something physically come into being that is inspired by their emotions or their needs or what they feel the audience needs.
I like the independence of it. I love freedom of it. No one else tells you what you can or can't do most of the time. And there's an immediacy to it. Art has to be service, you know, it's like you're servicing your subconscious, and at the same time, you're doing something that someone's going to relate to, hopefully.
When I was a kid, I spent half my time in the living room performing for people. I spent the other half the time in my bedroom by myself, writing poetry and sketching. I was not the type of kid you could say, as a punishment, go to your room, because my room was heaven to me. My isolation was welcome.
People that are different have a shot at being original. You know, they got motivation too. You know, they got motivation.
I sketched all the time, but I didn't do a lot of painting. Suddenly, 6 years ago, at a time when I was trying to heal a broken heart, I decided, well, maybe I'll paint.
When your heart is in love, you're floating, weightless. But when you lose that love, you have to re-enter the atmosphere. And it can get pretty rough. You're just bouncing off one molecule and onto the next, ripping through them at such a pace that they just ignite and explode. Until you find another heart that's doing the same thing, has landed and cooled, and then you start to float again.
The energy that surrounds Jesus is electric. I don't know if Jesus is real. I don't know if he lived. I don't know what he means, but the paintings of Jesus are really my desire to convey Christ consciousness. I wanted you to have the feeling when you looked in his eyes that he was accepting of who you are. I wanted him to be able to stare at you and heal you from the painting. You can find every race in the face of Jesus. And I think that's how every race imagines Jesus. They imagine him as their own.
That's pretty. It's so funny, I get so stuck when I'm trying to choose colors, but when I just grab them, it's cool.
I don't know what painting teaches me. I know that it just frees me. Free from the future, free from the past, free from regret, free from worry. Something inside you is always telling a story. I believe every single thing that you see and hear is talking to you. You know, the bottom line with all of this, whether it's performance or it's art or it's sculpture, is love. We want to show ourselves and have that be accepted. I love being alive, and the art is the evidence of that.
There you go, bro.
Damn, dude.
Isn't that crazy?
Come on.
Isn't that crazy, man?
Dude, I got 2 huge takeaways from that.
What is it?
He said, I believe everything you see and hear is talking to you. Dude, walk around like that. That's Patterson, bro.
Yep.
That's just what we talked about.
Yeah.
Everything that you see and hear is talking to you, trying to convey something to you. And if you're paying attention, you could get something from that, just like a person.
I love that, man.
You know what I'm saying? That's beautiful.
Yeah.
And then he talked about the reason for doing art, and he goes, it's love. He goes, we want to show ourselves and have that be accepted.
Yeah.
And that's all we want. I think that's all
man.
anyone ever wanted, is to be seen and accepted. Put something out for other people to see and be accepted.
Yes. Completely, man.
That's all I fucking want, man.
Me too, man.
At the end of the day.
I think that's what everything is. Everything that someone does.
Yeah.
Every decision you make is kind of, it's, you can just make a decision for yourself, but I think at the end it's like we're all connected in this,
for sure,
in these little and big ways.
Yeah. Like I want to learn guitar. And then you ask yourself why. And it's like, well, I think it's really cool. Why? Well, maybe I want to write like a beautiful song. Why would you want to write a beautiful song?
Yeah.
Well, original beautiful song. Because I want to reach somebody with it. I want somebody to see my art, see my love, and I love life, and I love music.
Yeah.
And I want you to feel that, and I want you to accept me for that.
And sometimes that almost seems like selfish when you think about it, but there's nothing wrong with that.
No, I think that's
what it is.
Yeah, dude. But we all get something from each other when we do that.
Yep.
So it's not selfish.
That's worth it, man.
Yeah. That's beautiful, man.
Hell
Thank you for sharing that with me. Damn.
Mm-hmm.
Jim
Let's lift
Carrey,
it up, bro.
Shout out Jim Carrey,
yeah,
dude.
Big shout out, man.
Yeah, I want to show you a trailer. I sent you the trailer for the way back. Can we watch that right quick?
Yeah. Let's watch it.
If you're listening to the podcast right now, I love you. This is episode 62.
Yes.
This is of the You Are Here podcast, quarantine episode. All the people that shouted me out on Instagram for the trailer, if you've seen it, thank you very much for the love.
Big shout out.
Say that. Thank you guys very much. I got a lot of really friendly, lovely messages. And it goes back to this art conversation of like, why do a thing? Like, I want to be accepted for like the things that I love. And that's the kind of story I want to put out. It's one of my fears. And like, I feel less alone when people reach out to me, and I'm just grateful. So thank you for the acceptance and the love.
Hell yeah. Boom.
All right.
Let's watch it.
Same time.
This is way back, right?
The way back. Yes.
All right.
Ben Affleck.
All right.
All right.
3, 2, 1.
By yourself all the time, just drinking.
I'm fine. I appreciate it, but I'm fine.
Ever since I heard the how and when,
And I suppose you're wondering why I called you over here.
I didn't need to go where a Bible went.
Our basketball coach had a heart attack the other night. We need a new coach, Jack.
And you know your gifts seem heaven sent.
Is the team any good?
No. The last time they made the playoffs, back when you were playing.
Let's
go, line up. You're Marcus, right?
That's right.
How many threes did Marcus make last year?
A percentage of 26.
You want to know why they're leaving you open? It's because they don't think you could hit the ocean from the beach.
Yo, he just spit facts at your ass, bro.
I don't know how you house the sin.
So how you liking coaching so far?
Great. Just getting used to the players.
What players?
I was never sure how much of you I could let in.
I heard you're coaching basketball.
Yeah. Keeps me busy. Keeps my mind off other things, you know.
Once you settle down, baby, you love your spin.
I spent a lot of time hurting myself.
Heavenly Father,
I made a lot of bad decisions.
don't carry other names.
I had a lot of regrets.
Game's on the line. I want you taking that shot.
Why is that so hard for you to believe?
What?
That you're the best player on the team.
I know you're suffering. I just want you to be happy again, but you gotta want it too.
Keep pressing, trapping, taking charges. You guys earned this tonight.
my goodness to show.
Damn. Wow. Ben Affleck, man. Wait,
That
this is
gave me
new?
the feels, dude. Yeah. Early release for the Corona, dude.
Wow, I really like that. Fuck.
Yeah, bro. I'm watching that tonight, I think.
What's it on?
I think it's on like iTunes and Google Play, and
Word.
you can get on a few other places. Just rent it. I think it's like $6.
I love that like what I get from that story is like him having his own problems.
Yeah.
But also like the team is like a whole problem. You know what I mean? And it's like that power dynamic of like how can
dude.
It's like almost like how can you tell these people what to do? These kids, like coaching them, you know what I mean? As like a model, like a role model.
Yeah, dude. Coaches are huge.
Yourself, it's almost like I don't know, you got your own demons and everything.
Yeah. That's I think it's gonna be a really moving story, and I think it's that kind of like the essence of like someone battling their biggest demon of like an addiction or whatever that like crushes a life, and like the message that story I think is going to tell, or is trying to tell, is like you're never gone too far to come back, like the way back.
Oh yeah.
And like I think we all struggle with like a demon. I think we all have something that we were given or that's put on us, and we have to find a way to either like fight back from it and like find a way to live with it, or to overcome it, and to live the life like we want, or we can just let it devour us, which it does for a lot of people too. And like I think that film is trying to inspire like there's no demon that you're going through that you can't come back from. And it like fucking moves me, man.
Yeah.
That's the human thread of the film that like catches me. Yeah
That's huge.
So that's what I'm about to do, bruh.
Thanks for sharing that. Hell yeah.
Movie. Yeah, dude.
But there's so many good things out, man.
Yeah, there are
so
good
many
films
good
out
things.
right now. There are really good films out.
What's the last? Oh, I got a recommendation from my parents. You actually watched it already. Shout out Mom and Pop, but the show Modern Love, dude.
Modern Love, dude.
The show takes there was a column in the New York Times called Modern Love, and it just like showcased like stories about like relationships and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they take each like certain stories and they kind of like base it off of that. And dude, I love it, man. It's so good.
Have you been watching it?
Oh, I mean, I'm watching it.
Did you see the episode yet with the gay couple who wants to have a child?
No.
Okay.
I'm 3 in.
Woo!
I just started today, but oh my god.
Wait. I want you to watch. There's a moment in that I was so blindsided by this. There's an actor in it. He plays, I guess, the lead guy in the episode, and he wants to have a child with his partner. And the story is like a girl who is homeless gets pregnant, and like they end up becoming the parents, but they're trying to help her like through her pregnancy, and she's like wild as shit. And it's like a lot of like fighting going on throughout the thing. But there is a moment when the baby comes and you see his face. Dude, watch that episode. You're going to freak. I don't know what his name is, but he's incredible. You're going to know it. You're going to know it right away. Yes, dude. You're going to know it right away. Incredible. And then the other episode with the guy who works in the lobby of the girl who lives in the apartment complex. Did you watch that?
Yeah, that was the first one, I think.
Oh, I love that. That was
so
a really
good,
cool
man.
episode. Yeah, dude. That got me too.
I love this because it's so just like it made like watching all these movies like Patterson, like this series and everything. It made me realize like I want to just like capture this feeling, man. I want to capture these feelings, just a real feeling. You know what I mean? I don't want to make these like I'm not saying this like a bad thing, but conjuring like this like fake, I don't know, feeling and try to tell someone how to feel about something. You know what I mean? I want it to be like a real thing, that something happened and like is inspired from that, and then like put that together into a different, I don't know.
Absolutely, man. Yeah.
That just moved me so much. Like it made me realize like the things I want to like, I don't know, capture.
Yeah, man.
Like,
it opened my eyes up to some new ways of telling stories for sure.
You know?
It definitely did. Patterson specifically, Jim Jarmusch.
Yep.
But yeah, there's more than one way to tell a story, man. And he didn't force any kind of feeling on us at all. He's like, I'm going to tell a story now. If you want to watch it, and you take what you take from it. Yeah. I'm not trying to influence anything.
I feel like that's huge with like what you write and what you make, man. Like I'm not even kidding. Like the Rose Garden and this upcoming film, I'll Meet You There. It's like, it's definitely like you capture a feeling, and you always say like those are the things you write about.
Yeah. Thank you, dude.
You know?
I don't know. I appreciate it, dude. I don't know. I'm still trying to find my voice, I think, in storytelling, to be honest. I think I write really passionately, and I try to write character first. Yeah. And then whatever you fill out the character well enough, a character really going through a thing, whatever that thing is, it's going to connect because it's a real person.
Yeah.
And the things that I write, I try to write they have a clear human thread that we all can feel. It's a very, we're all dealing with facing the loss of loved ones, and that's what I'll Meet You There is about. And now may be a more poignant time than any to watch a film like that. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. This life is crazy, man. I thought we were going to be in the film festival circuit in the next couple of weeks, and that's not happening. So who knows? I don't know when it's coming out or anything, but I'm going to send you a link to it so you can watch it let me know what you think.
Nice.
But we did it. We did it.
For sure. And after this is all, whenever that is, we're showing it to the world, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Boom.
Thanks for doing this pod with me, bro. I got a hot dinner on the table. My lovely wife made. We're going to watch that film tonight. Have our little movie night. I love you, man, for real. I miss you a lot.
I love you too, man. Soon,
hopefully. Keep writing, please. And yeah. Soon. Keep writing and keep doing your guitar and keep motivating me, bro. I learn from you.
Yeah, I want you to pick something up. You got the camera? Yeah. You got film?
Yeah, I do.
You got the camera?
I don't have film anymore.
Oh, I'll drop some off in your mailbox.
Oh shit. I would love that. Thank you.
Hell yeah. Well, hey man, I think this is a good time to stop it. It's a little short.
Yeah, bro.
But I loved it, man. Thanks for coming on here and calling. Because I know it's tough times, but I feel like it's necessary, man.
Yeah, it is.
I think it's necessary.
Absolutely.
Oh, shit. All right. You have any last words, Dave?
Yeah, man. If whoever's listening, if you're going through a hard time or you're just going through a time where you're struggling, like I am too, I understand completely. And you're not alone. If you need someone to talk to, I'm here. Like always, like I say every week. And I mean it. And thank you to everyone who's reached out to me. Thank you for all the love. And thank you, Mikey, for being a good friend, man.
Well, thank you, man. I appreciate you. I appreciate everything you do. And that same thing you said goes out for me too. I hope everyone, is staying positive. Watch those things that we modern love and Patterson. If you want to feel something, if you're feeling some creative, like you want some inspiration, I feel like those really hit the spot for us. Yeah, that's kind of it, man.
Word.
You Are Here podcast, episode 62.
Bang.
Boom. Find a podcast. You know where to find a podcast. I got to say it every time. Find the podcast ever, dude. Apple, Spotify, Google, YouTube, www.youhearepodcast.co. You cannot afford the And this is Mike. I'm signing out.
This is Dave, and I love y'all.
Boom. Peace, guys.